I'm noticing that some of the veteran agents out there that are selling lots of properties are a little frustrated these days. And it seems to be stemming from a lack of real estate fundamentals. And it's not always the newer agents that are perhaps crossing that line or making few people a little bit nervous these days. It's a lot of agents. And I'm not quite sure where it's coming from, but I do have an idea. This is Ron Wojciechowski, and I'm bringing you another episode of Real Estate in a Nutshell. The fact is, real estate fundamentals have likely eroded in 2020. And I'm not sure it's just a COVID thing. There's been so many new agents that have come into the business over the last couple of years. And brokers have been challenged to continue to recruit, lead, train, mentor all of these agents. Some people are switching brokerages. And I think the lines of training and communication have gotten blurred. With the number of places that you can go to get real estate training, especially online, we can almost delude ourselves into thinking it's the same thing as doing it in person and being tested and held accountable. Maybe even making sure we learned everything and weren't distracted. You see, when you're taking it online at home, it could be a really good thing, or you might stop it, get up and do the laundry, stop it, get a snack, stop it, freshen up your coffee, stop it. You may go back and forth several times and never really master the material. And if you're not focused, you may have watched it, but if you didn't learn anything, you really can't implement it. And I believe a lot of agents simply don't know what they don't know right now. You know, for instance, we had an agent that wanted to show one of our listings, and they're from out of the area, about an hour away. So they're not a member of the local board. I doubt they know the area. They didn't have the MLS sheet, and their Supra didn't work on our box. And a little frustrating. I'm thinking, well, geez, you know, what do you do? So we invited them to use the showing service, which they attempted to do. But they asked us, well, could you just let us in, please? Because our box doesn't work there. And I said, well, you know, let me help you with that. And I meant it sincerely. I says, and you probably don't realize, but if you called your local board, the one you belong to and pay your dues to, they can let your super key access, I believe, up to 5 MLS. And they can simply, with a couple of keystrokes, add in that particular board, and then you could let yourself in the property. And so they worked on that a little bit the day before. And then he says, well, I don't have the MLS sheet. I'm not sure if they're using MLS Advantage or not, or maybe they've never been shown it. But that's another place they could have gotten the information about the property. So they want us to provide an MLS sheet. And then a few other things happened along the way with the property where they really weren't sure. And it was clear to me they didn't know the area, didn't know the neighborhood. But it doesn't mean they can't bring a buyer. And once they get to the house, they might be really good at that piece. There's a few things they didn't have along the way. Now, it can be frustrating. Of course, they even at one point says, can you just let me in the house? And it's like, well, we can give them a fish or teach them to fish. And so we help teach them to fish. And the good news is they got their access for the Supra. They were able to have the showing today, and we'll see how that all works out. Now, for us, is it frustrating? Sure. Do we think that the fundamentals might be a little bit weak? Sure. Is it their fault? Yeah, I don't know. Were they given the proper training, the proper opportunity? Were they aware to reach out and learn these things? Sometimes you don't know that you don't know it. In this case, our seller just wants to sell the property. They're not so concerned about my garden variety problems of having to open up a door or provide an MLS sheet. They probably believe, and they should, that's our job, is to provide that information and to cooperate with the other agents, because we do offer a cooperating brokerage fee to help get that property sold. So fingers crossed that despite the little speed bumps in the road here, maybe, just maybe, we'll have a deal come out of this, and then we'll be talking about the success of helping the other agent out just a little bit so that we can help our customers out, which is the most important thing. I hope that you're enjoying these videos, and I am thankful for all the people that have helped me along the way when maybe I was that agent that didn't know everything, and this just in, I still don't know everything, but I'm working on it. So this is Ron Wojciechowski, Real Estate in a Nutshell. Click or comment below, and please subscribe. See you in the field.